Hello and welcome back to our Bannerlord modded playthrough, and as you can see we're at war against the Royalist Vlandians and we're going to be fighting this fellow to begin with. Now obviously this guy is not exactly the most powerful person that we could potentially focus our attention on, but he is the first one that I encountered. And we are going to be fighting at nighttime, which is obviously another thing that I'm not particularly too big a fan of. Now, there's been a couple of developments. I'm not entirely sure. One of them is the fact that I'm not entirely sure why we decided to declare war on the Royalist Vlandians. I believe it was actually them causing the war declaration anyway, so I guess it's not really our fault. But the point is, I was actually just on my way, just literally moments before, to the Western Empire, because I was actually going to declare war against the Western Empire because I thought that those guys probably could use a little bit of aggression against them, or at least I hoped to be able to do that. So that's generally my plan, or was my plan, before the Vlandians decided to attack. Now, this is obviously pretty good for us because generally I would say that the Vlandians' positioning is probably one of the best for us to attack, because they are going to have the added bonus of being so incredibly close to us, and it's going to be very easy for us to deal damage to them as a result of that, because they really are not going to be able to really focus as many of their forces on us as they would potentially want, because they have a lot of people, and those people are going to probably be funneled through a certain point in our territory, and it's much easier for us to control the flow of these units the way that we're doing it right here in comparison to the way that they're trying to do it to us. You know what I mean? So basically, we have so many more places for us to defend that might be a weakness. You may think, oh, that's a weakness. No, but actually no, because that means that all of their defenses and all of their potential places to hide and attack from are so limited that it's going to be very difficult for them to stem the tide, as it were, because we are obviously going to have an overwhelming advantage in terms of numbers and overall power. So it's going to be very hard for them against a much larger opponent to be able to achieve anything. And that's the reason why I'm kind of surprised about that whole thing. I think the main reason why they even decided to declare war on us is to stop the tribute. Because of course the tribute was almost 1,800 every single day, which is actually a pretty significant amount if you think about it. But there you go, there's a victory for us. Very, very simple. Didn't lose too many units, which is absolutely fantastic, because that means I will be able to head onward. We're going to let this guy go, as I always do, because we do want to... I actually should have checked to see whether he was an evildoer, and to say that, I mean a dishonorable vassal. Now, bear in mind that someone was very helpful in the comments, actually. They let me know that the person that I executed in one of the previous episodes, he wasn't actually a dishonorable vassal. Now, here's the thing. The only reason why I thought he was dishonorable is because he had 2 out of 3 negative traits, or negative personality traits, that is. And that's actually not the case. That is actually not the reason why he would be dishonorable, quote-unquote. You need him to have an actual honor trait that says that he's dishonorable. So, for example, if I go and have a look at this guy, no, he's perfectly fine, but you can see here, look at this. This is the actual trait that we need to look at. Either the positive one or the negative one. If he doesn't have a negative honorable trait, then we cannot execute. And that was the reason why we lost relation in that previous episode. If we had a negative honor rating, then we can execute them all we like. That's basically how that goes. So, yeah, I made a bit of an error there, but it was kind of cool to see exactly what was going on with the execution system and everything, because it's been a while, and we do have that new mod that does make it quite nice for us to receive their stuff. Anyway, you can see here, look, for example, Monchuk. He has a negative honor trait, and if I actually get him into a situation where I can take him prisoner, then I will be executing him and that's going to be quite fun. Ooh, hello there. There's another one. Let's take him on. Let's get him. Let's attack straight away. Deathart, you're right there, but you're a bit scared of me, I think. Oh, hello there. Wow, Perk was a little bit coming out of nowhere as well. That was the fella that we actually had to give a huge amount of money to, if I recall correctly. But anyway, let's just take a quick look here. Okay, no, he is just impulsive. So you can see here, even though he does have a negative trait, it has nothing to do with being honorable or not. So obviously, that is not what we're going to do. We're not going to be... Oh, wait a minute. He's actually surrendering. Okay, you know what? I'm going to let him surrender. And we can capture him. Can we actually capture him, or are we just capturing his prisoners? No, it seems like we're just capturing his troops, should I say. And he has been captured by Sylvind herself, which I suppose is okay, although I would actually like to speak to her. And I'm gonna see if I can maybe trade. There we go, let's transfer. There we go, fantastic. Okay, so that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now what we're gonna try to do here is we're gonna try and gain some relation. Okay, let's speak to him. Can I release him? Are you serious? I can't release him? Okay, that's actually kind of sad. That's actually kind of sad. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I might be able to do that by doing this. Oh. Well, I think that's a bit of an oversight on the developer's part, to be honest. I think that it should definitely show that I released him for free. Yeah, that probably would have been a good idea to bargain with someone for reasons. But, you know, it's always good to try out these things. I mean, personally, I don't really care either way, because we didn't lose any relation with him, I don't think. But, whatever the case, you know, it's kind of sad. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so let's have a look at this guy. Okay, so he has 400 units. Let's take a look at his composition. He does have 57 serfs. Let's see what else he has. He's got some arballistas. He's got some... Well, this is going to be a little bit problematic, because on the one hand, I would like to be able to fight this guy, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to fight on such a grand scale. There are a lot of enemies here. But on the other hand, I don't know whether I can. I think we should be able to. So let's just take a quick look here, make sure that everyone's leveled up. Yep, everyone seems to be leveled up. All right, let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so this seems like a pretty cool battlefield so far. I actually don't think that this is going to be too bad. And if the enemy decides to take an, well, slightly aggressive route towards us, then I think we're going to have a really nice time here, because we are quite obviously in a pretty advantageous position. So let's just have a look. Is he literally 5 out? No, he's 330 away. Okay, I actually thought he was super far away at this point, but no. Thankfully not too much. Anyway, let's get ready with our little couch lance here, because no doubt they're not seeing fit to actually come over here. I was actually thinking that the vassals or maybe some of the cavalry would see to scout out our forces, and so they would see what we could do. Oh wow, okay, that was actually kind of damaging, and I didn't do anything myself. I didn't do any damage whatsoever from that. That was pretty awful. Ooh, we took out one of the enemy vassals. Fantastic. That's a good amount of damage done to their morale already. Let's see if we can continue to do a little bit more here. Gotta be careful though. Ow. Yeah. That is exactly the reason. Okay, so my archers are helping me out a little bit.
Perfect! Move! Archer, move! Cavalry! Sergeants, horse archers! Take over command!
Oh, there's another one. Fantastic. If we could just continue to eliminate these guys at such a rapid rate, it's really going to make a huge difference to the amount of morale damage we're able to carry forward through this fight. Anyway, let's get our forces into a better position, and we'll probably put them into a shield wall formation as they get a little bit closer. Let's put our archers into a nice loose formation too. And let's see if I can maybe do a nice... Ah, yeah, that was a nice elimination right there. Now, maybe I can get a couple of... nice little bits of damage. Oh, nice. Nice. Yes. More of that, please. Ah, now they've raised their shields a little bit more now. A headshot, but not a kill. Only by like 1 damage, I think. Because that guy probably had 100 HP and I hit him for 99. That's hilarious. Okay, let's get my archers up here. Nemos! Nemos has died! That's one of my companions. Oh well, never mind, never mind. He is absolutely fine. He has gone to Valhalla or wherever. And we will remember him for the next 5 seconds. Did you think I was going to say 5 years? 5 minutes? I'm not entirely sure. 5 millennia? Perhaps that would make more sense. But no. Generally... companions in this game, oh, look at that, we killed one of the enemy vassals. Fantastic, that's great. That is actually much better than losing a companion. I mean, to be fair, losing a companion is pretty harsh if the companion... Oh, he ran back to his reinforcement zone. What a sneaky guy. Did you see that? I should not have trusted Dirthart at all. I mean, obviously I didn't trust him, so to speak, but I was kind of thinking that we'd do okay. Anyway, let's get our people into a shield wall formation and see if I can maybe do a little bit of extra damage to the cavalry here. Anyway, gaining a fatal kill on an enemy vassal is so much better than losing a companion. I mean, obviously, losing a companion is bad, but a companion death doesn't matter as much as an enemy faction losing one of their vassals, in my opinion at least. I think that it really makes a huge difference. We took him off his mount. Nice. Ah. Alright, I think I might want to do something here. How are my archers doing? Are they doing okay? Do you think they're doing alright? I think they might be doing okay. Ah, I think I might be dead. No. Ah, no, I'm okay. Okay. Whew. That was a little bit too close for my liking, people. Thank you very much. Let's tell these guys to charge in because the enemy infantry is right on top of them right now. Oh, nice shot. Okay, that's all we needed for 224 in crossbow. And no doubt I will be getting the next point in just a second. So let's be a little bit careful here. I'm going to continue moving forward, but let's just take a quick look at the casualties. Oh, we have done so much damage to them so far. This is absolutely fantastic. I think we will be victorious, but it really is just a matter of how many casualties we're going to take and if I can actually survive. Because if I survive, that dramatically increases our own force's survival ratings. At least that is what I have come to expect from the auto-delegating AI. Usually the auto-delegation AI, once you die, is not exactly great. So hopefully that's going to be alright here. Let's move my forces a little bit closer. I'm just looking out for any cavalry that we can find, because you never know. I do want to get that 225th point. Nice, that's it. Fantastic. Okay, now I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here, thank you very much. Good day, sir. And let's see if we can move up to them. I'm not entirely sure if most of the enemy are just ranged units now, because if they are just ranged, we might as well just charge at them with reckless abandon. And we're probably going to have a pretty easy time of things at that point. Yes, my shooting is really rusty. Okay, let's see what's going on here. I'm actually going to move my archers a little bit around so that they get some cover. Yeah, here we go, here we go. Okay, so the enemy is actually seeing fit to attack us at this point. Kind of interesting that they would decide to do that here. Okay, so they're actually attacking us right now. Let's tell these guys to charge in, because they are, of course, going to clash with them quite a bit. I think we should be victorious, but it is a... no. I don't know whether any of those guys had spears, but we do want to be very, very careful. Unfortunately, it seems as though my infantry is being absolutely overwhelmed, so I will have to tell my range to now auto-delegate so they can skirmish while our reinforcements come in, because our reinforcements obviously have to run from the entire other end of the battlefield, which is obviously a bit of a problem. That's also a reason why, in my opinion, Bannerlord should introduce a camp system. And I'm talking about not the camp system from Warband, where you would, you know, just wait for a little bit of time, or where you would speak to your companions in certain mods, or whatever the case may be. Not that camp system, but the system that basically allows you to see visually where enemy forces may or may not come from. And I think I've talked about this in a previous episode as well. But generally, that, in my opinion, would add a huge amount of strategy and maybe even tactical prowess to every single battle. Let's get these guys to actually come over here. Why are they taking so long? Is it because they're both in? They're still in shield wall? Yeah, it's because they're still in shield wall. So let's put them in line formation. There's only 22 of these guys. Yeah, that's absolutely awful. So I'm basically just going to leave the ranged in auto-delegation right now, and then we'll see what happens. But anyway, as I was saying, basically, I would love to see a more dynamic system for enemy spawn points. Because at the moment, it is basically just that they have point A for enemy A and point B for ally B. And they just spawn at those points in the exact same manner every single time. And obviously that, in my opinion, that's probably not the most riveting way to do things, right? So I was actually hoping that maybe they would add something that allows... I died. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, getting shot in the face, that's just generally what we tend to do, isn't it? But anyway, as I say, I think it would be cool to maybe add like a visual representation of the various spawn points as well, because them just appearing out of nowhere doesn't... It kind of breaks immersion quite a bit if you're wanting to be a little bit more immersed in the overall world as a whole. So for example, let's say the enemy... I don't know, let's say that there's an objective in every single fight. So field battle. So you have 3 different ways to win, potentially. You either force the enemy to surrender by eliminating their leaders, so their lords and vassals and so on. Or you eliminate all of their units. Or you destroy their camps And this is obviously going to help in those cases where you have an overwhelming opponent and maybe you're going to need to resort to some kind of strategy with a commando team that you tell to follow you, and then you go and try and destroy their camps. And I'm saying maybe there's a camp here, so within these little trees right here. So it's hidden mostly, with the exception of maybe like an objective marker or something like that. And then you run over here and you interact with something to like throw a torch or whatever on this particular camp, and then it burns. And you have to, you know, kill a couple of guards and so on. And then you go over to the next one, which is in a different portion of the forest, like over here maybe. And then you go to the next one, which is over here. So there's 3 different camps that you can destroy, while your main army is in the center doing battle. You're going to be running around doing all kinds of other things to try and force the opponent to either give up or to be defeated entirely, because you are destroying their basically any chance of them getting any reinforcements. Because if you destroy their camps, they have no way to reinforce. At least, that is how I envisage the whole reinforcement system could be taken. It could be taken in that direction. But obviously, that is just my, you know, preliminary suggestion, preliminary thoughts, not really anything too amazing from that. But I think that that could make every single fight very, very cool, you know, because you'd have so many different ways to deal with the opponent instead of just kill them, you know? You wouldn't just be killing them, you'd be having some kind of strategy. I'm going to let this person go because she's not bad. This person is also not dishonorable, as you can see right there. She has Valor negative, but that is not that big a deal as far as I'm aware, so that's okay. Dirthart himself, is he... No, he has Valor -1. Okay, so that's absolutely fine as well, as we've seen. So I'm actually... I'm kind of... You know what? I kind of want to take him prisoner, but I kind of don't at the same time, because I really do want to try and mend some fences, because obviously due to my execution, we have upset a couple of people, shall we say. So I'm going to just let him go as well. And we do have a number of prisoners that we can, of course, take here, but I don't think I'm going to be taking too many. I think I'm just going to take a couple. And that will then... the other people will go to Sylvind. Alright, so, oh yeah, Nathanos is actually with us now, by the way. I know someone actually did mention in the comments that they were wondering where Nathanos is. Well, don't worry, he's with us now. Yes, he is actually with us. So he is... there he is, right there. And I actually took one of my other family members as well. She is the little sister of ours, I believe. And we also have Phasos as well. Phasos is not with us because I would like a, should we say, a bit of an insurance policy, you know, if you get my meaning. Because you never know what's going to happen, and we could very well end up perishing and then not having anyone left in our family to sort of take over. All right, so let's have a look here. Ooh, shield on back has a 75% chance of stopping ranged damage entirely. Wow, that's actually crazy. And crossbow hits that deal over 25% damage dismount enemy cavalry? What? Okay, so now these are the kinds of things where I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty crazy perk, and something that I'd like to see more of. I know someone actually mentioned that my wishes for the experience gain perks would be, would be a little bit too much. I think you said that, you know, having 10 experience per experience perk daily would be way too much, but here's the thing, okay? Hopefully you're still watching, but whatever the case, here's the thing, okay? So I'm going to just take you over here real quick. Do I have any lower tier units? Yeah, I have a tier 4 here. Okay, so this tier 4 guy, right? Oh, that's actually his maximum level. Okay, well, this guy, for example, let's take a look. Wait a minute. This says tier 4, this says tier 4. Okay, that's a bug. Obviously, these are tier 5 and these are tier 4. Okay, so whatever the case, disregard all that. This guy needs 2,250 experience to level up into the next stage. So to level up to tier 5. If you have 4 perks that give 40 experience per day, well, let's just say you have 2. Okay, let's say you have 2. That's going to take So you have, yeah, so let's say that you have one perk that gives 10 and another perk that gives 10. So that's 20 experience per day. That's still going to take, what is that? 225 days or 110 days or something like that? I have no idea. I'm terrible at maths, so I do apologize. But generally, if you think about it, having 20 experience per day instead of, 4 experience per day as it is right now makes no difference whatsoever. It just makes it a little bit more useful, because leveling these guys up, for example, leveling the recruits up, that wouldn't take too long. That would take about 20 days to level these guys up, which is not too bad in my opinion. I think that's okay. But that's the whole point of trainer skill in general, or that's the whole point of these experience gaining things in general, is to make it so that these lower level units don't have to go into battle and potentially perish in the meantime, and they can just kind of relax a little bit in your army. They can just sit there for a little bit, gain enough experience to level up into tier 2, and then go into the battle and die, because that's generally what tends to happen. But yeah, that was my main thought process on that as well. So yes, anyway, we do have a perk to spend here, so let's have a look. So this is exactly what I was talking about here. These are the kinds of traits I would like. So things that give some kind of gameplay change to you in some way or another, and I think these are really, really cool. I'm going to be taking Pavis because generally I think that while this is very, very powerful, the ability to dismount enemy cavalry if you hit more than 25% of their damage, I mean, I think that's actually insane. If you're really good at hitting people while you're riding around and you're hitting enemy cavalry, if you're really good at that, I'd highly recommend taking this. But because I am thinking I'd like a little bit more defense, I'm going to take Pavis because 75% chance is crazy good. I love it. That is the kind of perk I want to see more of. More of these really, really good perks that make you feel like you are a powerful warrior. And it's not going to prevent me from dying. It's just going to make me feel better and gain more enjoyment out of the game as a whole. And I think that really makes a huge difference to, well, everyone's fun factor, quote unquote, that you're going to get. But anyway, at the beginning of a battle, the morale of all your troops is increased by 5. Okay. Increases the rate of recruiting ranged prisoners by 50%. Troop experience gain while fighting in simulated battles is increased by 20%. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. If you want to level up units by auto-resolving, in my opinion, that is a really, really, really good perk to take. And I think I might actually take it. Maybe not, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure, because the morale of my troops increased by 5. I don't care about that. My morale at the moment is 94. I really don't need that. So I think I'm actually going to be taking the Trusted Commander one. I think that seems pretty cool. Auto-resolving and gaining a massive amount of experience sounds like a nice way to level up units as well. As I've said before, auto-resolving is generally the way I tend to level up units most of the time, but it is not the most efficient by any means. There are a lot of people in the comments that have said to me in the past, you know, there's a much better way, you know, a much more efficient way of doing this. And I appreciate that wholeheartedly. That's just the way that I tend to do things. And that's the cool thing about the game. You can choose what you want to do. And that's the reason why the Mount and Blade series, specifically Warband, you know, where they give you a huge amount of choices. That's the reason why it's a great game, because you have the ability to choose those things. Anyway, what's going on over here? Oh, they're just 2 caravans. Okay. Good to know. Huh. Alright, so we've taken Garontor Castle. This guy wasted his, is wasting his army right now. Ah, now he's not wasting it so much. He's actually going over to Ortisia. This is going to be fun then. Alright, I'm going to go and join him in Ortisia in just a second, but we're going to end this episode off here first. And in the next one, we're going to see what happens. Our war exhaustion is not yet capping out, so we do have the ability to continue fighting for a little bit more. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.